G'day guys, it's the Misanthrope here, coming at you from down under. I want to do a little tutorial about the setup of my Beastmaster Hunter, because I've been playing this character for nearly 5 years, and so everything I'm going to show you today is a combination of what I've learnt over those years. Let's just get through the basics first. The first 12 extra action bars, bottom left, I've bound to F1 to F12. Pretty basic. The next 6 are Shift 1 to Shift 6, and the last 6 I've bound across here to Alt 1 and Alt to Alt 6. I've been playing, I took a little break from WoW and played some other games, so I've rebound my movement keys slightly. The Q and E keys now don't do strafing. I've moved strafing down to A and D, so I've got W, S and AD for my movement keys. I've basically just gotten rid of the turn on the spot keys, but they're still sort of bound to arrow if I want to do this for some reason. So binding the strafe keys to A and D frees up my Q and E keys, which I can now use to bind stuff down here. I have multi-shot bind to Q, an aspect of the fox bound to E. And that's also set up on a macro, so I can't take the spell off, it only casts the spell on. Over here on the top right, I've rebound R and T. It's a kind of a funny place to have those, but yeah, I needed some extra buttons, and I did those before the Q and E ones down here. So R is kill shot, which is up over there, and you don't use kill shot a hell of a lot, so it's out of the way, but it's still in reach of your hand near the movement keys. And next to that, T is tranquilizing shot. T for tranquilizing. I've also rebound F and G. If I am in combat and have lost my pet somehow, I only need to tap the F button to call it back. That's this key here. And G is aspect of the cheetah. So I can pop G for aspect of the cheetah and then E to go back to fox. And no sort of, mousing around. I also got the glyph for aspect of the cheetah so I don't get stunned. It just takes the aspect off. Macros. I have a lot of macros for this hunter. People are following me around and looking at stuff. Oh wait. As I mentioned, aspect of the fox is on a macro, and all you do is shift click aspect of the fox and then put that little apostrophe shift 1 in front of it, and then it will only cast on and not off. You can do that with all your aspects, like aspect of the hawk. Very handy if you're accidentally clicking off your aspects. This here is basically my kill command. On that I've added dismount as the first line. Basically because if you've ever been sapped by a rogue and you can see the rogue standing next to you but you can't get your pet to attack him because you're still mounted, this is really, really good. You get sapped, you see the guy, you just click him and start smashing your kill command ability, and it will automatically dismount you and your pet will pounce the guy and he'll be like, ah, QQ. Second line of that macro is pet attack. The way I play is I have my pet on defensive, not on assist. Assist is the new stance they kind of gave you. I don't like it. Assist makes your pet pretty much run over and attack whatever you're shooting. And if you're a multitasking kind of a guy who likes to you know, be fighting one thing but tag another one and bring it towards you and trap it, that can be really annoying because your pet will just automatically change targets to when you do. So yeah, second line, pet attack and pet on defensive all the time. So I can open fire on something, pull it towards me, pull it out of a, you know, pull it out away from other mobs or whatever you want to do, and my pet won't go in and start fighting until I push the button and tell it to do so, which is button 3, kill command. So third line, of course, is kill command, and then I've got some special abilities in there for other pets, and I've also put cast defensive in there because sometimes your pet will change stance, especially like when you mount. Sometimes your pet will go on passive when you've mounted, and then it won't come off passive when you dismount. So I have the stance that I want my pet to be in all the time as part of that macro, just to make sure it never fails. Next we have Cobra Shot. I've just put pet defensive on that as well, just to be triple sure. Disengage also has my parachute. So whenever I disengage, I look for a nice sort of slope to disengage off, and get some extra distance with my parachute, all in one button. Master's Call also casts Roar of Sacrifice, which some of my pets have. Roar of Sacrifice reduces pet damage. Reduces your damage and makes it cast over to the pet. So usually when you need Master's Call, Roar of Sacrifice also comes in handy. My main attack is called Kill 1 and Kill 2. First is pet defensive yet again. Pet attack, because you want your pet to go on attack. Cast Hunter's Mark. Cast Bestial Wrath, which is a 1 minute cooldown. And cast one of my Cataclysmic Gladiator Badge of Conquest. I wear 2 different badges of conquest. I haven't been able to upgrade these yet. I haven't found better trinkets for the way I like my character set up. I wear 2 trinkets that have a 2 minute cooldown, and Bestial Wrath is on a 1 minute cooldown, so I make 2 macros. 1 to fire Bestial Wrath with the first trinket, and 1 to fire Bestial Wrath with the second trinket. So it's cast Hunter's Mark, use a trinket, cast Bestial Wrath, and that line shouldn't be there, because that's in another macro. Save that. So the second one is basically the same. It's cast Bestial Wrath. I've also, shouldn't have that on there because that doesn't stack, so I've got it with another macro, which I'll show you in a second. So cast a trinket, cast Call of the Wild, which is a pet ability, which is like a cooldown, gives you more attack power. Cast Rapid Fire, cast Bestial Wrath, and cast Stampede, which calls forth 5 clones of my pet. So that's kill number 2. So basically I just try and use 1 each minute, because that's what these 2 trinkets are on, and that's what the cooldown of Bestial Wrath is. In between that, when I get up my 5 stacks of focus, I have that macroed to cast Rapid Fire and use an engineering item, which I can show you quickly. It's Upper Speed Accelerators. It's an older one, but it gives you an extra 240 haste for 12 seconds. So when I cast that on top of 5 stacks of focus fire, it brings down my steady shot, or my Cobra Shot, by about half. So the idea is to pop one of these, which gives you Bestial Wrath and a trinket, sit on arcane shots and blow as much DPS as possible, and then when all that ends and you start running out of focus from your arcane shots and your cooldowns have ended, then you can pop this secondary cooldown, which gives you your focus, gives you your focused fire and the extra 240, and then you can start sitting on Cobra shots and stacking your focus back up again without you know, having the epic long cast times, which really nukes your DPS. I think that's about it. I'll throw on a little bit of Hunter versus Wild video right now.